So, does anyone remember the Walking Dead Onslaught, a VR game that took place in the Walking Dead universe? It came out back in 2020, and honestly, this game has so much potential to be more than what it was. Because there was a lot of stuff going for it as far as story, gameplay, and characters. I will say this wasn't the worst game in the world, but there has been a trend of bad Walking Dead tie-in games like Survivor Instinct. And while I definitely would rather play Onslaught, clearly the better games are the ones that are not tied to the TV show, such as the Telltale games and Saints and Sinners, and probably even the mobile games to be honest. When Onslaught came out, I streamed the game day one and a lot of people were asking me if the game was good. I defended the game. I never took it as a game to be in real competition with Sinners because they were both different games respectively. Sinners was a craft-based survival game and Onslaught was more of an arcade-like shooter, and that's why I keep telling people when defending it. I think it's unfair comparing these two games because one plays a lot more different than the other, much like how people will compare Arkham Knight to Gotham Knights. One's clearly the better game, making the other one get unnecessary criticism, even though it makes sense on why people are comparing the two in the first place. I think Onslaught's biggest downfall is the lack of updates. The game got no add-ons as the game released, and the only thing that we got was in the deluxe edition. Saints and Sinners on the other hand got a crap ton of updates, new story, weapons, and even a graphical update. Why couldn't Onslaught get the same treatment? Hell, even a better comparison is the Resident Evil 2 remake got a lot of updates, and the Resident Evil 3 update didn't get anything. Alongside not having no updates, the biggest thing the game was going for at least was the ability to play co-op. Then later on we were told that co-op would not be featured and it would be single player only. I was bummed when this was announced and I still got the game, but I kept imagining what this game could have been with co-op still intact. And now I'm gonna go over what the game did that was good, bad, and kinda funny. So story wise, 90%, 95% you play as Daryl, but at the very start you play as Rick Grimes. And keep in mind the actors played the roles respectively. So Norman Reedus was Daryl, Melissa McBride was Carol, and even Josh McDermott was Eugene. Now, Andrew Lincoln and Danai Guerrera sadly did not reprise their roles, so they got substitutes to fill in. So Michonne's voice wasn't that bad. I knew her voice sounded off, but she still did a good job. Now, when it comes to Rick, it's a completely different story. But I'm gonna just keep it short. His voice was terrible, but in a funny way. I feel like he tries too hard to sound like Andrew Lincoln, and while looking over the gameplay, I think I know why his voice sounds off. So whenever Rick talks, he talks in two ways. When he's calm, he's like, normal, but whenever he's like kind of tense, he drags like the last word of each sentence, like, I think about it every damn day. Or, if you don't like it, you can go talk to Herschel. So the voice actor talks as if every word is like his last word, so it just kind of drags on and it's so noticeable.
Find more ammo. I can feel it.
I'm not going to talk too much about the story because honestly it really doesn't matter, and what I mean by that is they try to play it off as if the story's going to lead somewhere because it's tied into the TV show, so you think something's going to happen or something's going to pay off with it, maybe be concluded in like a later season. But as far as I know, there's like no follow-up. Now the story is about Daryl telling Rick what happened to him after he had gotten separated from Eugene and proceeds without him. Now at the start of the game, you play as Rick meeting up with Daryl to ask what had happened to him, and Daryl and Rick went back and forth about finding out what happened. And going back to Rick's voice for a second, Rick sounds a little too whiny when he's like showing concern for Daryl. So Daryl ends up in different locations where she got in contact with a woman. He follows her. Then when he finally talk, Daryl tries to help her, but she, to no surprise, doesn't want help. Then after more exchanges between the two, before she even says it, you can already tell that she already been bitten. It was too predictable. But the levels were fun. Some levels might seem lengthy, but at least it's linear so you aren't going in the wrong direction, getting lost. But yeah, the story's kinda mid, but it is good to hear Norman Reedus play as Daryl again. Combat, weapons don't break, and while a little iffy at first, you can punch walkers in the face, something Arizona Sunshine lacks. So it does have some upsides to it. I had fun trying to shoot like John Wick or Chris and Leon from Resident Evil Vendetta. Like I had a lot of fun with it on live stream. Now for the rest of the game, it also has some ups and downs. When you go into town try to find some supplies, you fight a bunch of walkers, and while I had fun, it gets kind of repetitive because you're really just trying to get the supplies for your base, and after you've upgraded everything, there's really no reason for you to play anymore unless you just want to kill walkers with different weapons. This is where I think co-op could have really shined had it stayed in the game. Hell, had they had some fun game modes like wave survival or complete an actual objective, then it definitely could have had more replay value. You can upgrade your weapons, so if you're playing on hard difficulty, it's kind of a challenge, but the game should have added more weapons and areas because it's kind of the same for the most part. And the last thing is the special skins. If you got the deluxe edition like me, you can get skins for characters and weapons. Like you can change a baseball bat into Negan's bat Lucille and Rick's mace. I don't even remember Rick even having a mace, but maybe it happened in a later season. Tyrese has his own skin for a hammer, and Carol also has a knife that's mixed with a brass knuckle, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and also Rick and Daryl got outfits. Well, one outfit from like earlier seasons. So you got the "I had to keep hope alive" Rick Grimes, from season 1, and you got the "You best let me go," even though that quote's from season 1 and this outfit's from like season 3. Michonne and Carol don't have any extra outfits, and when you think about it, they don't really wear anything else because after season 4, they don't really wear anything distinct. Carol will have like her jacket, Michonne will have like her skin tight outfit with the straps, and I don't even know what you call it, but they just the same pretty much. So I just not like it matters anyway, because you really can't see your face unless you look down on your body or if Rick and Daryl are talking to each other. Again, this is where I think co-op had a part in different skins. I still find it funny that the tie-in games are the worst compared to the other games. I can easily make a video talking about what this game definitely could have done differently, because while I had fun, it's honestly just a lot of wasted potential. Now I was going to end it here, but I'm actually going to combine it with a series that I started a while back ago that I've been meaning to get back to, Annoying Trophies. Luckily enough, I was already going to talk about the state of the game, so this saves a lot of time. But anyway, getting most of the trophies is pretty easy. But there was one trophy that in no right had any reason of being complicated. That trophy is called Tainted Meat, where you have to kill a walker with every weapon in the game. And you think, oh, that doesn't sound too hard, right? Nope. I was on this game for 2 hours just trying to find the last weapon just to get the damn trophy. This was super frustrating. But let me start from the beginning. Pretty much, I beat the campaign, found all the survivors and weapons you can upgrade, and unlock all the areas. And there are certain weapons you can only find while in supply missions, like the shovel, hand wrench, heavy wrench, and the kunai knife. And that's the one that I had to get, and the only way to find them is to open supply crates. For some reason, this game wanted to be super inconsistent, where I had to open up to 20 crates, and I could never get the knife that I needed. Every time I open up a box, it's a weapon that I've already unlocked. If I wanted to use that weapon, then I would have put it in my loadout. I was replaying the same missions over and over again just to get that damn knife. I thought the first mission was going to make it easier since I could beat it within a couple minutes, but no luck. Then I tried the longer missions because there was a bunch of crates, and there had to have been at least one crate that had it, right? No! Like literally, they still kept giving me the same weapons over and over, and do you want to know the most messed up part about it? I opened 3 crates in the same level, and each of them gave me the crossbow. Like, what kind of BS is that? At least give me a different weapon, but no. 3 crossbows out of at least 15 weapons? I don't know if me picking up the crossbow would have changed the outcome, but I was honestly too pissed to even try it. Now, when I first started writing this, the trophy was at an ultra rare, sitting at a 4.6% completion. Checking it now in December 2022, it's sitting at a 3.9%, so not that much had changed over the span of 2 years, but people clearly didn't bother getting this, and I can see why. I wasn't even in the mood to play this game, but I just wanted the trophy so I could just be done with this game because I had my fun with it. My arms were tired, I didn't feel like swinging anymore. I'm pretty sure I was getting a headache too after being on VR for hours. After countless mission replays, I finally got the knife, and after getting that kill, I got the platinum. I was so happy it was finally over. When I got the platinum, I gave a little hand gesture just to show how I felt about the entire process. This was annoying because the crate weapons were just way too inconsistent, and when I look back on it, I think when I first played the game, I seen the knife, but I didn't pick it up because I didn't want to use it. That was probably my biggest mistake ever, and I've regretted it ever since. If it was just the weapons you could put in your loadout, then it would have been fine, maybe making it easier, but I don't know. I don't hate this game, but it did fall short when it came to the story, gameplay, and everything else. It's still funny that the tie-in games are considered the worst and the other games are still being praised till this day. I honestly might make the other video just talk about what this game could have been, because in all honesty, this game was not even just wasted potential, it was just a whole missed opportunity. I only got 3 shots left, I gotta make it count. Go out.
Go inside and